It's taken me 12 years to finally find a DAP that I can replace my FIO X5 with, and I'm happy to say that this is also technically a FIO player, and it's got the essence of the old X5. So I'm pretty happy with it, of course. So I will get into why I think it's definitely better than my X5. And of course, thank you to the folk at Headphone Zone for making this review possible by sending me this demo unit. All thoughts and opinions are my own as always. So let's quickly jump into the build and the unboxing. You do get a nice colorful box which does have the product in it, of course, and of course when you open it, you will see everything you get. Now you do get the literature. It does come in a series of languages, so you'll have to find where English is, of course. And then what's cool is you do get this little pack of stickers you can put on it. I have not opened this because I do like the look of it without it, but it's nice that you do get all these different options you can put onto it and really make it custom. And then a little more literature there, and you do get a charging cable as well, A to C cable, which is cool. And then moving right on to the device, well, it is definitely very nicely made. It does have an aluminium finish, and it does have this circle here, which is why it gets on the name of disc, and that is the touch screen as well. You will see the Snowsky logo there, and you of course do get the power button up top over there. To the side you get the play pause button, the volume up and down button. Now these also work as next track and previous track with a double click. You can customize that, of course, within the settings. Then here you do get a little lanyard section you can put one into. Here's your micro SD slot. You do get a USB Type-C charging right there, and what's cool is you do get a 3.5 mm and a 4.4 mm balanced output as well. Now what's cool at the back is, you might miss this, but it has these tiny little feet over here so that when you place it on on a surface, it keeps the back from getting scratched. I think I'm asking for too much when I say I do wish this came with a little case, but I mean, this is what you get in the box. Now coming to why I would be happy to replace my old player with this. Let me just bring this in. Now this is an old FIO X5, beautiful old player. It's about 12 years old. And why I've liked to stick to this all these years and not really upgrade it to anything is because all the new players just come with Android on them. There's a lot of bloatware. They run very slow, very sluggish, unless you go very premium, of course. So this is a proper DAP, digital audio player. I like to call them dedicated audio players. But here's just an example of why I think this can replace this. So I'll just boot them up together and see what happens. So yeah, both of them, well, are both technically FIOs. There is a 12-year difference between the two, but as you can see, the boot up speed is almost identical. There's a bit of a delay on this, but the same way I can just toggle between different things on this FIO, you know, sort of, oh yeah, I've taken my memory card out, but I can go into these different settings, just click into different modes, you know, just really go through this the way I want to. This is also quick enough to do exactly that. It's very responsive. On the odd occasion, I have felt that maybe touching on the sides or something, it doesn't respond as quickly as I'd like. But there is no bloatware on this. It works absolutely quickly. There's no nonsense about extra apps or extra games on this. It's very quick to respond, and this is what you need when you just want to interact with your music and nothing else. So moving on into what this is about. Well, this does have, like, I've put my memory card into this. I can go into the browse file section to go into the different folders I have. You do have a settings options. You can go into the category options. Now you will have to update the library for this device to read your memory card properly. But what's cool about this is when you go into the settings, you do have different modes you can go into, including a USB DAC mode. Now that's something I really liked with my old FIO X5, because this much had, it had a very similar option where you could go into a DAC mode, and where's that mode? It's somewhere. Yeah, I go there, and it's somewhere here. I could make this a dedicated sort of DAC connected to a laptop and do that. You can do that with this as well, which is quite cool, and storage mode if you want to access the memory card and so on. It's very straightforward. System settings, of course, you can go into all these different things. Charging optimization if you want to make sure the battery is healthy all the time. Brightness, screen off time, and all these little things that you'd want to really customize your device. I find this to be really cool. I think I did run an update on the software when I put it on Wi-Fi. Now the Wi-Fi more so is for if you want to use it for AirPlay. It's not really for streaming from any sort of music apps. This is more of a dedicated player with a memory card, any offline music you have. Bluetooth is great because you can use this for high-res audio. It does support LDAC, so if you do have headphones that support LDAC, you can broadcast to that. But I still prefer going wired, and the fact that you have a balanced also makes all the difference. And then of course playback settings, again you can really customize what you want to do over here. And as you can see, it's very responsive. There's no sluggishness with this, which is what I really like. Gain controls right there, low and high. You got Bluetooth codecs you can choose from. It also does support coaxial, so this is really cool because if you don't want to use the internal hardware, you can just use the coax and connect it to an external DAC that you have and drive. In that case, for that matter, I use this with my music system, so it works with that. Again, that's a feature my X5 also had, so it's nice to see that here. You do get equalizer options. Now you can choose between the different presets, but what's also really cool is you also get user EQ. So when you go into this, you can, how do you customize this? I played around with it just a moment ago. Yeah. So you do get multiple band EQ. I think it's about a 10 band EQ, and you do get a plus minus 12 dB gain. Let me see if that shows. Yeah, plus minus 12, and you can reset that and you can play around with this. And this does exactly what my old X5 used to do. When you go into the manual mode, it drops the output so that your IEMs or headphones won't clip. So this does exactly that. It's nice to see that they've sort of stuck to that. And then moving right on, it does have filters you can play around with, which is quite cool. That's something my old X5 did not have. And of course channel balance and dynamic range also you can play around with. You can put it on or off, which is quite cool, dynamic range enhancement. And yeah, that's about it. You just update the media library whenever you put in a new memory card, or if you've put in new folders into that memory card, and that's pretty much it. It's pretty straightforward. It's not sluggish at all, and I really like that the form factor is as small as it is. It's quite compact. As you can see, it's a little larger than this sort of mechanical dial that the old X5 had, and round about the same size as the screen, but this is pretty compact and easy to carry around. This supports the SBC, AAC and LDAC codecs, and it has a pretty solid output of 125 milliwatts and 280 milliwatts. Now this is at the 3.5 mm on high gain and the 4.4 balanced on high gain as well. If you put it on low gain, it will dip down a bit. So power wise, this thing is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's as good as having a portable amp. I've been using an old FIO Mont Blanc with the FIO X5. But I think it works for most people who are looking for portability. Now, no doubt this supports a whole bunch of different FLAC files and so on and so forth. So if you have an offline library, I think this makes more sense for that kind of individual. This does not come with all the bells and whistles of, you know, having Apple Music and Spotify and all that sort of stuff. It's not for that kind of listener, which is why I felt very strongly that this suits me very well. Now, one thing I have done is I have compared this, and I've done some A/B testing with the portable DAC amp I use, which is a newish Rose Elsa RZ550. It's very powerful. It's a squeak more powerful than this, and I will say that there is a very subtle difference between the two. Yes, that DAC amp is able to give me, slightly more body compared to this, but that is a dedicated DAC amp. It's not got all the bells and whistles of having, volume control and a touch screen and a memory card and all this sort of stuff. So that's one thing to factor in. But I will say, when it comes to the sound compared to the X5, again, it's not leaps and bounds. Yes, 12 years has been a long time, but audio was pretty good back then. The chips that they used for this, the DAC chip, the amp chip was okay, which is why I got a separate amp with this, an external amp. But audio-wise, this is significantly cleaner. It stages better, it images better, it's more refined, it has evolved a lot. It's not as warm sounding as the old X5 of mine, but it definitely comes at you with a lot more enthusiasm with its overall detail and resolution. It does have a sense of realism to it. The whole timbre factor with this, I think, is more true than the old X5. I have tested these and done A/B testing with an old set of SimGot EA1000s. I do find this to be significantly transparent compared to a lot of other IEMs that I've used. So I do hold on to these and use them for a lot of testing for DACs and amps. But my overall experience with this on a sound front, I will say has been enjoyable, especially with IEMs. If you are planning on pairing this with a set of maybe Bear Dynamic DT 900s or whatever, or 990s or whatever you have, it won't drive that very well. You need significantly more power, especially if you're on the move. I'd say you need an external amp. But for the power this pushes out, I think it's better paired with IEMs for certain. It works pretty well with the coaxial. I have connected it to, I've got a Topping D50S, so the coax does push signal to that and I can listen to music on my speakers. So this is basically the perfect player for me in my use case, because these are the things that I've been doing with my old X5. And why I have not gone to any new players over the last 12 years is because everything is, it wants to be a large screen, it wants to be like a cell phone, so it takes up too much space in my pocket or when I'm traveling. Those devices are loaded with bloatware. If you checked out the build chapter, you would have seen how quickly the Snowsky booted, the disk booted. A lot of the newer things that have, you know, the full screen, touch screen, if they're affordable, they're very sluggish. You tap and swipe, they sort of jitter, they don't want to do what they have to do. And this is the whole point of having a dedicated music player or a digital whatever music player, digital audio player, digital dedicated audio player. The whole point of it is it's got one thing to do. It's got one job and it has to do it right. It has to be quick. It has to be able to respond to your inputs quickly and do what it has to do. This is the first player I've seen that's done this of all the players that I've checked out over the past years thinking about upgrading or getting something new. This is definitely a product that I didn't think would impress me as much as it has. So I'm happy to say that I know for a fact that tomorrow if I do want to shift from my old X5, I can move on to the Snowsky disc. Now the thing is also, what's great about this is, I think my old X5 had a limit where it could support up to about 512 GB micro SD per slot. It came with 2 slots. The Snowsky disc support a 2 terabyte micro SD. So I mean, you can carry your entire offline library. I mean, if you've got a lot like I do, it won't all fit on 2 TB, but you can choose and cycle through different kinds of music you can go through. So yeah, all in all, I think this is really impressive. I love that they've stuck to that sort of black aluminium. It feels premium like my old X5. The old X5, in fact, was top of the line in 2013, 2014 when they launched it. Yeah, it had a few issues, like the mechanical scroll wheel stopped working less than a year after getting it. But luckily, I could use those little buttons to navigate. Everything is touchscreen. There's nothing mechanical, so it is unlikely to give up. Mechanical stuff will give up over time, no doubt. But yeah, everything about it, I think, is right. I've tried to figure out, is there something I don't like about it? I think there was one thing that I didn't like about it. And I'm really nitpicking here. I'm really extremely nitpicking. So I will call that out. This USB Type-C port at the bottom over here doesn't particularly line up very well with the shell. So when I put in the USB Type-C cable straight into it, it doesn't go in all the way. So I have to sort of readjust it and angle it slightly downwards so it goes, slots there and then goes in, because there's a metal sleeve on the actual USB input on the inside. That's my only real gripe. It's a minor thing in terms of build quality, but on the whole, I think they've done a very good job. So anyway, if you think this is for you and you do want to buy it, of course, I will leave all the details down below. And of course, if you do want to know specific details, you check out that link below, because everything is there. There's so much to cover that I just thought I'd cover the things that I like. But anyway, if you do want to pick this up, this does have an MRP of about 9,999 rupees, but you can buy this for about 8,999 from the kind folk at Headphone Zone. So anyway, that's been my review on the Snowsky disc, and I hope that it's given you a better understanding for this DAP. And I do hope that I helped you make some sort of purchase decision. If you would like to help support the channel, I'm sure you know exactly how to. But of course, thank you for tuning in for some sound advice.